if you guys like this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you guys are interested in a personal session, check out my website, readingswithbreanne.com. Let's dive into the topic for today. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing fabulous wherever you are on this journey. I'm looking forward to doing another tarot reading for you guys, and this one's a little bit of a spur of the moment as well because I just came across an article that caught my eye and I wanted to see what the tarot had to say about it. So about a month ago, I did a tarot reading on the haunted Annabelle doll, and I wanted to revisit this because of this new article that came up. Now, just recently, I don't know how many of you guys follow this, but there's a tour that's happening right now. It's incredible because this doll should not be traveling across the states. There's lots of dark energies attached to the original Annabelle doll. But when I was doing my, crystal ball and looking into it, I have seen many replicas as well. But what I wanted to look into as well is because this paranormal investigator, Dan Rivera, he's only 54 years old and he suddenly died over the weekend. So I wanted to pull the tarot. Seems a little suspicious to me. Again, stuff does happen, natural things do happen, but I do want to see what the tarot has to say. So again, this of course, it also happened during the visit to Gettysburg on top of it. So this is again where this I believe it's called the Devil's on the Run tour he's leading, and it is involving the Annabelle doll. So I wanted to see what the tarot can share with us on this, sad story. So let's dive in and see what messages we can get for today when it comes to this really unfortunate situation with paranormal investigator Dan Rivera. So what can you share with the spirit about Dan Rivera's death? I believe there still is like an autopsy pending, but as far as what I've read, they said there is nothing suspicious that has happened around his passing, even though it was a sudden death. Let's see, spirit, what can you share about the passing of Dan Rivera? We've got the Starborn, Kairos. Let's take one more. And we have the Sword as well. Back of the deck is the Tear. All right, I'm going to pull some of the true crime after as well, but I wanted to just start with the tarot reading and see what we can get here. All right, Spirit, what's the overall energy linking Dan Rivera to his recent passing? Is there anything, is there any links to his passing and the Annabelle doll? I'm looking for cards like the Devil, that kind of stuff. Let's see. The Tower in Dan's energy. That's something sudden happening, his sudden passing. Wheel of Fortune. We have Six of Wands in the past. It's like a victory, but at what cost? He should not be on tour with that doll, you guys. I'll tell you that much. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Ten of Cups. Okay, so we have Three of Swords and Eight of Swords with that Eight of Cups energy on the back of the deck. Kind of interesting here. Again, I don't know if they have come to a conclusion of like what they have labeled his passing to be with, but that Three of Swords, especially when I'm looking at health or an energy report of a person, this is often indicating issues with the heart or like cardiac arrest and that sort of thing. So it's not in the outcome, but it definitely is coming up, which is aspecting the outcome here. So let's dive into this because this is actually not exactly what I expected. We don't have like the Devil out here or anything, but it does go pretty deep with this energy. Now I do absolutely think that his death will be ruled as natural, especially with this Three of Swords. I think it's going to be ruled as some kind of like maybe heart failure or heart attack with that. But I do think that there is more to it. Now, when we look at the Annabelle doll itself, you guys, it's a beacon, or you could see it as a vessel where I have seen multiple entities attached to it. And with Dan and his energy, the tower, there's something about this happening specifically at this Gettysburg as well, because this is his like nervous system being destabilized, and I feel like there could have been an energetic parasite attached to it, kind of breaking things down. Again, this is not something that the doctors are going to be able to find, right? They're going to rule it out as some kind of a heart issue or condition from what I can see. Again, this is all alleged, you guys. It's just a tarot reading. But I want to try to break it down based off of what the tarot has to say, because I do think that there was some kind of etheric imprinting or like a parasitic attachment, which again was causing a breakdown of his system. Major arcana in Dan's energy, major arcana in the situation. And it's really like, not that it was directly caused by the doll, but there's like energetic consequences that interact with his field without him being fully kind of protected or having that armor around him, okay? So I do think that there are some links to it, yes, and it's crazy because they have this whole this whole tour happening, and they're bringing people towards this energy, you guys. It's not good. It's not good. And I'm honestly really even on the fence about doing these kind of readings, but I also think, it's like bringing awareness as well, I think is really important to this kind of thing, okay? So when we look at this again, this is that irreversible collapse within Dan's energy, and it's like within this case, it's a literal destruction. And I keep getting, like, if you see this tower up close, look at the shock wave of the lightning. I keep thinking there's something within his nervous system that has been, I don't want to say manipulated, but it's just destabilized. And that's where when we're not fully protected and we're consistently working with these kind of dark energies, there are openings for attacks, I guess you can say, right? So this is showing me that this was a moment in his life, like a literal, more of like a literal destruction and not just a symbolic one here. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This is him not moving forward, okay? This is ignoring the signs and him like even underestimating what he was dealing with, okay? Because look at the past, you guys. A victory at what cost? I mean, him taking this and leading this tour. And look at, it's so crazy because we have the Wheel of Fortune and we have Kairos. It's like the perfect timing, the right timing, right? And when we look at the Wheel of Fortune, this is a moment that was a moment where things were intersected. And it was time. This is not at all random, you guys. I get so many. The fact that we have got both on the tarot in the situation and the oracle, which these ones are phenomenal. Every time I get very accurate energies with these oracles. This is it being specifically timed to happen at the Gettysburg within that area. And when we have that outcome here, we have the Ten of Cups, and there's kind of a couple different aspects to it though. The Ten of Cups could also represent like returning home to spirit. It's really that peace on the other side, but it also shows, I feel like he left a lot behind, like a sense of, cutting things short. Because we have the Eight of Swords, and the Three of Swords, which is like him being kind of trapped or bound or unable to really escape the energetic consequences once they were set in motion. There's something about this being absolutely planned, like contracted. So very interesting to see what's coming up. And I mean, it feels like when we look at the oracles that are linked to this as well, I mean, look at it happening in Gettysburg as well, okay? Before we get there, I mean, we have the Starborn. So this is him potentially coming here with a very specific contract or a bridge to be some kind of catalyst. His specific timing, it had to happen where it happened. We also have the Sword, which is certain truths coming out or cutting through It could be like that soul, the soul cleaving here. It's like not just a physical loss, but it carried some kind of a sword or code of revelations here. And then we have the tear, which is showing this is not something that is clean, okay? There is a rupture of energy that remains around his death. And I want to take a moment to look at Gettysburg. See, in the back of the deck is the Eight of Cups, him walking away. His soul, I guess we can say his soul leaving, right? But when we look at Gettysburg as well, is a powerful grid of a lot of trauma, you guys. There's been, you know, thousands that really died in terror and rage and betrayal here. And it's really showing there's a, let's say like a big energetic scar, and a lot of these energies siphon energy when it comes to the grief and fear, right? It's an energy siphoning portal. And you know what, there's a lot here to show that Dan specifically also had some kind of contract with this area, this particular area. So it wouldn't surprise me if he had past lives or trauma from the different lifetimes that have brought forward into this lifetime. That's what I get with the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups here. So it wouldn't surprise me that, like, with this being paired with the Eight of Swords, him having some kind of let's say past life where he could have been maybe a soldier, or he could have been absolutely somebody who has witnessed and carried a lot of unresolved trauma. And when we look at, you know, at this Annabelle figure and also Gettysburg, it's really energetically linked to being these siphons, this energy siphon. So lots of deep traumas happening here. So I strongly get, you guys, this is not just a random sudden situation that happened. This is really really strongly organized in terms of like an orchestration for a soul trigger event. And you can think it or pair it as like Gettysburg as being the origin of the wound, and then that Annabelle doll being the activation node for Dan. And that's where this has become some kind of like the outcome being a bit of a unfortunate like soul trap closing on itself is what I'm getting. So it is mind-blowing to see kind of the energy that's come out here. Let's pull a few of the true crime oracles and let's just see what comes out of them. Let's see, Spirit, what else can you share with us when it comes to this recent passing of paranormal investigator Dan? We have fire, which is interesting because remember when I did my first Annabelle video, there was something about houses or fires and potential conspiracies about the Annabelle being linked to the fires. So that's interesting that came out. Now the fire connected to Dan as well, if we link it up to each placement here, this could be representation of a bit of a forced reset or like a burnout from Dan's energy, and or this could be representation of symbolic as well. I'm wondering if there are going to be more fires that break out here shortly with this whole situation. So doesn't seem like it's just symbolic. It's almost like an energetic overload in Dan's energy. All right, so we have the wooded area over the situation as well. I mean, I don't know if he was in a wooded area or if they were doing some kind of tour in a wooded area. I'm not too sure. You guys will have to let me know if you're familiar. But what I get from this too is like something to do with, it just seems like it screams like secrecy to me. And it shows like this could be a public location where some kind of tour is being held. Absolutely. I mean, I feel like Gettysburg itself would have wooded zones, but it feels like this is more like an astral recall and something to do with spirituality lured into isolation. It's like a ritualistic energy field, okay? We have the celebrity in the past. Celebrity. I mean, there's lots of attention that this tour has gained. I believe tickets are like sold out. But I'm going to link this up to actual celebrities, because when I've looked at, I think with the crystal ball on this one, I do see like the actual real Annabelle doll it does have a dark, deep, dark energy. And I believe from what I can share from what I've seen, is actual celebrities have touched this doll and worked with it in terms of ritualistic situations to draw power from it. Okay. And I strongly do believe that. Sounds crazy, I know, but I do think that there has been celebrities, especially look at Epstein. I believe Epstein would even been linked to the Annabelle doll in the past. I strongly get that. So that may be a whole tarot reading all on its own, but let me know if you guys want more of this, and I'm more than happy to dive into stuff for you guys. So all right, so that's the past, and that's, again, all these celebrities, they just dive into these certain situations, but at what cost? Like victory at one cost. What cost? You can have the fame and the fortune, but deep inside, what is that doing to your soul? All right, assassination. All right, so that's interesting over that present energy with Dan moving forward. Pretty explanatory there. Oh, mind control with the outcome. These entities getting into, or these parasites getting into the mind. Celebrity, mind control, you guys. Look at that. We have party and power supply. So quite interesting here. Overall, I mean, when we see this, was this just natural causes? This overwrites it to me. I don't think that that is the case, although I do strongly think that is what they're going to label it as. Again, when we see the mind control as the outcome, this is showing, again, manipulation. It is showing influence, and it is showing something, the process of uncovering something that was related to rituals, traumas, that sort of thing. Okay. Yeah, interesting. That Starborn card too. Look at all this, the Starborn. It's like the star, the celebrity. Very interesting. There's lots of that kind of stuff linked up to it. And I do get a lot of this in terms of being like, we've got power and supply, or party and supply. And it's referring to like even Dan, looking at Dan himself as a power source, right? We can see his power source being drained or being neutralized with this energy. So big energy when relates to energetic, again, that sacrifice energy, or like ritual fields within the grid that are feeding itself. So yikes, you guys. All right, so I really wonder if this tour is going to continue or go on. So maybe let's ask a few cards, or we'll pull a few cards on that question, and see if this tour is going to be postponed or the show must go on, right? So let's see what comes out, and then we'll end it on that note. All right, Spirit, what can you share? What is the energy, and what can you share with us with the question of, will this tour with the Annabelle doll continue? Will it continue? I don't know how far in the tour they are, but let's see. Is this something that will continue to move on? Two of Pentacles. Yep, the Chariot. I feel like there may be something that gets postponed a little bit, but oh, okay. So we have Eight of Wands in reverse. This is slowing down, but then we also have the Chariot. So what's the outcome? Yeah, Ace of Wands. I think it will continue to go on. Yeah. I do see it going on, or them continuing to finish the tour, or something about it slowing down, but then they're like, okay, well, we've got the show, we've got dates, they've probably sold all their tickets, and it does look like it's something that will continue to move forward, unfortunately. So that's what I have for you guys. let me know if you guys have questions, if you want me to look into anything specific. But I was really just curious to dive into this this tarot reading to see what we can get from it. I mean, I was really hoping that the cards would say maybe that they would put this on hold and rethink it, but it doesn't look like that's what's happening. We do have the Chariot and the Ace of Wands with 3 of Cups and the Temperance. So looks like the show must go on according to them. So I love you guys lots. Stay safe. Let me know if you guys have any questions or topics you want me to look into. And until next time, beautiful souls, bye for now.